Rika and
Jessicarabbit.
Hey, and welcome back to another episode of Soul Healer Podcast. It's your girl Rika and
Jessicarabbit. Hey, y'all.
hey, how you boo? How your week been so far?
It's been good so far. It's been weekend. The kids are home, so it's been loud.
Oh, okay. Y'all getting the party started over there, huh? It's summertime.
Yeah. I haven't heard the word mother, mommy, mom so many times in my life.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you haven't heard it. I was like, shit, that's good. No. Yeah, my week has been good. My daughter is graduating high school this week. Yay! By the time this airs, she will be a high school graduate. And I think I've been going through, I don't know, I keep calling it nesting or something because I'm like, why am I making all of these things? Look, I won't clean my house, but I'm making all this stuff and being creative. So I was like, is this nesting? And I'm asking people, I'm like, what did you do when your kid graduated? She was like, I cleaned the whole house. I was like, get somebody else to do it. But I'll make some shit in a minute. So I done made a pair of shoes. I'm making another pair of shoes. And I'm just like, I guess I'm just going to be creative to get over my feelings because I'm seeing her less and less. She's with her friends. She's going to all these different celebrations. And I'm going to the gym. I'm going to work. So I'm like, this is me going through withdrawals, I guess.
Adult now,
Yeah. But I don't feel sad because I know she's gonna be there. But I'm weaning myself off of like looking at the Life 360 app to see where her location is and like, oh, is she at work? Oh, where is she now? Oh, she's driving. Oh, so I'm like, get off of it. I asked her stepmom, I'm like, did y'all look at the app to see what time? She was like, no, girl, I went to sleep and woke up to see if she was here, and that was it. I was like, damn.
Because your mama there, so it's different, I
I was
think.
like, maybe because I birthed her, but like, I got to get over that.
No, my mom still does it. What are you doing? Where are you going? I'm like, am I not grown?
Wow.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, see, my mom didn't have all that technology. So I even had to ask her. I was like, when I went out with my friends and stuff, were you like waiting up for me? She was like, no. Because I pretty much knew who you were with and where you were going. And you never stayed out really, really late. And then I was gone. So I don't know. But yeah, that's all that's going on this week for me. Seeing my regular clients. I'm getting closer to my Costa Rica retreat, July the 7th through the 11th. So I'm getting excited about that. And that's it. So that's what my week has been. Weekend.
Wow. We've been talking about body positivity since we're getting older and, being healthy and happy in our own skin. Did you see what happened to Miss Jackie O?
DC Young Fly's partner. Is that who
Yes.
She was on Wild 'N Out, right?
Yes, she was a Wild 'N Out girl.
Okay. What happened?
She had a mommy makeover and she was unalive. Um, she died afterwards. I was listening to another a Black plastic surgeon, and she said that if you die within 30 days of any procedure, that it's due to the procedure. So they were saying she had heart issues, but she didn't have heart issues prior to the mommy makeover. She just recently had her third child, and I don't think she waited long enough. I know the old wives' tale was always it takes 12 months for your body to get better. Medically, I heard 18 months. I don't think the baby was 12 or 18 months. I don't even think the baby was 6 months.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I did hear about this because she's friends with B. Simone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw a post where B. Simone was saying, it was a long speech. about losing somebody. So yeah, and then I think T.I. posted something. So I'm on social media sometimes and then I'm off social media. So I might see flashes of stuff and then I'm just like, oh, it's like watching the news. I catch a glimpse of it and then I'm like, I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to know about this. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But
It was
that's sad.
It is, because she has 3 young babies and she has, her partner and what else I heard, like Odell Beckham Jr. had spoken out about it. And I just know that sometimes things happen. Like the doctor would tell you, no, I don't think it's a good idea. And you're still pushed for it. And then they have some doctors that really don't care. They just want the money.
Mm-hmm.
Her doctor wasn't board certified, which is another big issue.
Oh,
You need a board certified doctor. So her doctor wasn't board certified. His health grades were in the garbage. And this is prior to the surgery. So I don't know why she didn't check, or did she check and then say, well, I'm not going to go by them? I don't know if somebody else went to that doctor. Was it free? But it wasn't free because it cost you your life. So
right.
nothing in life is free. And it's just this whole scenario of having to snap back after having a baby. What happened to letting your body naturally just come back after having a child? I mean, shoot, after I had my kids, I was always smaller than, because breastfeeding always made me drop the weight.
Uh-huh.
And then afterwards, if I didn't keep up with the regimen and start working out, I would gain weight. But
Girl, my snapback still ain't come back. That shit is gone.
what about with the first one?
After my daughter, I did go back. Well, I had a little bit of the baby weight still left over, but it was in the right places, so I didn't mind. But then with my son, it was like I gained double the weight and I had more stretch marks and it was hard to lose. Like I'm still trying to lose that weight 15 years later. So believe me, I thought about surgery and I guess I could have had it done if I really wanted to. And I was like, no, it's so expensive. No, it's so expensive. But shoot, I just got a new car. So if I really wanted it, I could have did it. But I guess that part of me is just like, what's going to change after I get it? What's going to be different? Is it my confidence? Then that means that's something I have to work on within myself. And I was down in myself when I was too skinny. So it's like, that's why I talk about, I'm like, well, maybe I just need to accept that this is the way it's supposed to be. But to think of it as a mommy makeover after giving birth to 3 children and this thing that you wanted so badly took you away from them. That's really, really sad.
Yes. And what people don't understand is a mommy makeover is not just mommy makeover. It's 2 or more procedures at once. So she may have gotten a breast lift, a BBL, a mini tummy tuck, or a tummy tuck up lipo 360. So a lot of it shouldn't be done anyway. And a lot of the doctors are steering away from BBLs because those are the #1 killers. So what a lot of doctors are thinking is that she may have gotten a BBL, because if they hit the wrong blood vessel, it goes right to your heart or your lungs and you're gone. So you might come off the table okay, but at home, if you're not being properly monitored, like some doctors have recovery homes where you have to stay at for a certain amount of time, and then you come back for like 1 or 2 visits and they say, okay, you can go home. Or sometimes they send in the nurse and then get the massages and everything like that. So if you don't have all that there and the doctors don't give it to you, it's hard. I've heard stories of people not feeling too well after having surgery. And I thought about it a couple of times. I actually did have the money for it at one time, but it was either get a house or get the surgery. And I said, well, I can get the surgery, something can happen to me, or if I can get the house that I want, then get the house, the house will stay longer than the surgery, then maybe again, I have the money. If not, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here for anybody's, like, I have to get my confidence up.
Yeah.
So if I'm not happy with it, girl, throw a girdle on, you know what I'm saying? As long as I look okay in clothes, that's what's matter. I mean, nobody's really gonna see me naked.
I mean, I have to see myself naked, but even in some clothes, like I catch and I try my best. Like I will fuss at you, I will fuss at other people if I hear them talking bad about themselves. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, take that picture over again. Oh, I got a double chin. Oh, I got not you, but just different people complaining like, oh no, I don't like that. Oh no, 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 no. I'm like, look, stop, stop. You look beautiful. You look nice. But then it's about how you see yourself. Cause I took a picture the other day and like you commented, he was like, all right, big booty Judy. And that wasn't an issue. Cause I'm like, all right, I think my butt getting big. But I saw the dimples, I saw the cellulite, I could see it through my clothes. I was like,
No.
let me crop this part out. Let me crop this part out. And I'm like, ooh, let me add a filter so you won't notice that too much. But it's like we are our own worst critics when it comes to things like that. And I got to the point where I had on a dress the other day and I can kind of see what my dad called the Dunlap, where the stomach Dunlapped over a little bit. And I was just like, no, I'm not putting no drones on. I'm just going to let this joint hang. How all of these what do you call it? Plus size models, they walking out
Yeah,
here
yeah.
confident. They
Oh,
don't
yeah,
care.
baby got you.
Yeah, so I'm like, they just walking with their heads high. They're like, I'm going to wear my tight dress. I'm going to do this. And I'm like, I need that type of confidence. I need to be able to embrace all parts of me. Like our ancestors in Africa, if your ancestors are African, the titties was hanging all the way down. They just walking through there. I'm taking care of my kids. I'm taking care of my family. I'm going to get this water with this jug on my head. Like they wasn't worried about a thing. And I'm like, why are we so worried about every little thing? Like, can we just be happy that, hey, we're alive? And with those surgeries, I guess, it's like you can get a blood clot in your leg or in your thigh and it moves somewhere else. You can have an aneurysm. Like,
Anything can happen. It's like having a necessary surgery and something happens and you're like, okay, well, she needed this. She was having heart issues, a broken leg, something like that. But then it has something cosmetic done and then you die. And it's like, that's when things will go, okay, did you go too far? I know a lot of my issues were stemmed from childhood and my mom and my grandmother saying little comments to me. So that really messed me up to the point that I think I picked apart myself all the time. She said something a couple weeks ago. Oh, I lost all this weight and I lost my behind, but I found it. You picked it up. And I'm like, all right, it's not like I already had issues already, but it just made me go. And then like I've been going to the gym the last couple of weeks and I haven't dropped any pounds yet. And it's like, what's going on? Like, you're not gonna drop anything. And it gets discouraging. Then they have like the Ozempic, was it Ozempic shot or Movado? I think Movado, I think that's what it's called. And you can go get that done. And that's helping. Then I'm like, is this going to be something like when it happened when in my 20s, I was taking these pills and, I was losing weight, looking cute, but then I gained all that weight back. Plus I'm like, I don't want to do that. And, but a lot of people have been changing, like, what is it? Kmichelle, she had gotten sick from her implants and stuff and those butt shots and she had to have it removed. And, blacchyna decided to take the fillers out of her face and some of the fillers out of her butt and stuff. And blacchyna was naturally curvy because if you see her mother, she's built a smaller version of her mother. And I'm like, well, so you already have the curves. There really was no need to put any more emphasis on it. She already had structure. Her cheekbones are already structured. There was no more reason to put any more in it. But it's hard. We're hard on ourselves.
In the industry, sex sales, look sales, like you're marketing your look, you're marketing your body, you have to be in competition with so many other people. But I think with Jackie O, it seemed like she was doing so much. She had a lip gloss business. She had so many other streams of revenue, but I just don't know. I mean, I don't know what the reasons were behind it, whether she wanted to keep her man's attention. I don't know. And I don't want to speak too much on that. But even like
Yeah.
Little Kim, you don't even recognize Little Kim no more.
I show my girls Little Kim, the Little Kim that we knew, the Queen Bee we knew. They were like, how did she get that light? And and it was like I was listening to something, I think it was on TikTok, and they were talking about Michael Jackson. And they said from all the pictures that you saw of Michael Jackson, you thought, oh wow, he looked good. But when they did the autopsy report and they showed how his skin looked horrible and he had his lips tattooed that color, he was wearing a wig. So up close, he did not look good. And is that the same thing with Little Kim? I mean, Biggie messed her up really, really bad. And that's hard. That's sad. That
But I
he
think
got,
that was deeper. It was it was stuff she was going through since she was younger.
I think so, because she said, I think her dad said some of the same things too, and then Biggie said it, and then she just, I mean, to change your whole skin color, try to be like a white woman to think it'd be better. But I mean, she was a beautiful chocolate woman. She got mad at, what was her name? Sasha from Power. Remember she played her?
Yeah.
Who was mad that she played her? Why did you pick somebody that dark to play me?
Wow.
And Tasha was like, she went hard at that role because she loved Little Kim. She grew up, on Little Kim, and she was like, okay, I can embody this. I can do this. And for her to say that, I'm like, what about all these little chocolate babies that are out here that are looking up to you that can't go change their skin color?
Right.
So, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. And I know women that my one friend, every time she got a tummy tuck, she got pregnant. She would go to the DR and get a tummy tuck, and she got pregnant. And then like with the fat transfer, her butt got so big. It was like, remember Kim Kardashian when she had the baby?
Uh-huh.
And she was like a plus size woman. I'm like, okay, now how do you like being the way we are? We can't go and get liposuction out like you. But now you put all that fat in different places, right? So
And they
now
don't
you're,
even look right. Like,
yeah, it was like she looked like a plus size woman, and she couldn't take it. I mean, she said she had issues holding a pregnancy, but I really think that's the reason why she want to have another one, naturally. But it's they do it. I mean, what about that? Like, what if you get the surgery done and then you gain the weight back?
true. Because you can't
Now,
control that. And now you're going to go to the gym, and now you marketing all of these workout plans and all of these teas and all of this other stuff, but you didn't get that body naturally. I'm not speaking about anybody in specific in particular, but
yeah.
a lot of times then you go to these waist no more, what's the little
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
waist snatcher thing. Y'all didn't get that way. Y'all got that shit sucked out.
Like, what's her name? What's his name? Gucci's wife, right? Gucci Mane.
Keisha Kaur.
She has those babies and drops. I'm like, is it really because of those teas and stuff, or did you go somewhere and because of HIPAA, a doctor can't say that they did it,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, okay. And then some people that get the sleeve done, I've known people that gotten the sleeve done and they wasted it. Like, you just get it done, drop 25, 50 pounds, and then you done with it. And it's like, no, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Now, some of us that have gotten stuff done, years down the line, you gain some weight, especially after the lockdown. That's when a lot of people in the gastric bypass, the gastric surgery community, they went back to the old habits of dealing with depression because you didn't have the outlet to really do it. So then now everybody's trying to get back on the bandwagon. I think that's when the Ozempic started popping up because a lot of people in that community said, well, the doctor put me on the shots instead of doing a revision to my sleeve or whatever. Yeah. But still, I mean, you got to get those healthy habits back in, because if not, like, okay, honestly, I had to stop because I was going to the gym and then I would go to Sonic's. Or maybe that's why I didn't lose anyway. So this week I said no more Sonics. I have in here, I have my own little drink. It's what's it, raspberry lime salsa water, like a shot of cranberry juice and some lime juice. And I put some fresh lime. So it's giving me that seltzery feel of a soda, but it's not. It's giving me that same little taste. I did that when I was pregnant. So let me see if this will help me lose the weight, because it's not that many calories as in the Route 44 cranberry limeade. Oh, I love that. That is my favorite. I got that in a corn dog every day because I made sure I did enough calories do that. So I burned enough calories so I could then eat it. So maybe that's why it wasn't working. But
yeah, and I think with the hormones, all of these things change. All of
PCOS.
these things change. So it's like, I wonder if they even have a limit of how many times you can get a certain cosmetic surgery done. Because even with your friend that was going to the DR, like that's scar tissue on top of scar tissue on top of scar tissue.
Them doctors want that money. Nope. And if you're one doctor says no, there's always another doctor that would say yes.
And then you can go to another country. Like what, Hazel E, she went, what was it, Turkey? Where did she go?
Yeah,
she went somewhere and then had a health scare and then had to, like, some people end up with one butt cheek low hanging lower than the other one, some fat just like is moved around somewhere. Like, oh my gosh. That's what scares me.
Yes, they would said the women in Brazil that were getting done by some doctor in Brazil, all of a sudden their ankles were swelling up because the fat moved from their butt down to their ankle. And that's how you could tell which ones was getting done by certain doctors. Yeah, so you don't know how your body's going to be 10, 20 years down the line. So you might come up with some new issues that your body, all of our bodies are meant to hold certain steps. So if you're a bigger chest woman, you're meant to hold, your back can hold that weight. Just like if you have a bigger butt, it's like your legs can hold that. Like, you don't want the issues that I had when you go to buy clothes. I was gotta buy a way bigger bottom than I do a top. And if you're trying to buy a suit outfit, you can't. You gotta go like and try to match the size and hope they don't check, because if I get the size at my bottom, it's going to be soupy up top, and then you got to get tailored. So it's like people don't understand that, and the complications that
you got to bring in the pants and the waist, and then you big all out here. But what about the people that have to get it done for health reasons? Like if your boobs are huge and your back can't take it, and you're just like, you have all these health issues, to get a reduction, I wonder if it's the same amount of stress on the body or the same techniques to get the reduction than to have like a lift or fat transfer. Sometimes
they do it. Sometimes they do all that together. So when you get your reduction, they'll lift it up for you and then take the fat out. And then it depends if you're going through insurance. So some doctors will say, well, we can take the fat out and then put it in your butt. Some women would do that.
And then what if a person has cancer and then they have to have a mastectomy? The thing. And then get them augmented and changed around. So it's like, I wonder if some of those procedures are the same and if they're taking the same precautions, because I know, like you said, that they have to stay at the place after they get the surgery. I remember it was I can't remember she's a celebrity, but she was talking about she wanted to start one of those homes where she would have the van that would pick the girls up after surgery. They would stay in this like B&B type of place, and they would have to put on their stockings, the little stockings to make sure they had no blood clots. And then they have the people that they're walking around with these little tubes hanging out of their body to let the drainage happen. It's just like,
but see, you do all that if you have a reduction too, because I know somebody had a reduction and mine had a reduction. They had the drip and the tubes as well. So it does all that. But I think the difference is they go to board certified doctors, because now you can get a doctor that is an anesthesiologist or say a dentist, and they take one little class, and now, I can do your nose surgery. I remember my doctor said, he said, I can fix your sinuses because your nose is a little crooked. Man, this is my dentist, mind you.
I'm sorry.
I said, well, I just won't be able to breathe correctly because I am not letting you do nothing. So I've seen on those botch shows where the dentist didn't know what they were doing and jack up a person's face. No, I just won't be breathing correctly. I'll just be using nasal spray for the rest of my life. I can kind of tell when I do it, when I like contour my nose, I can say, oh yeah, it is. The line does come a little quicker sometimes. I got to make sure I do it. I said, but it's okay because I'm not willing to take that risk. I mean, not also cosmetic, but if you jack me up, that's, they always said one good punch to the nose, that can take you out.
Uh-huh.
So that's the last.
Then you end up with black eyes, all types of other stuff going on at the same time. But it's just, I think they had a documentary, I don't know if it was on Netflix, where a person was doing the butt injection from a hotel room, and what they don't even know whether it was sterile or whether it's clean, and they were like, it was good money. I tried it out on a couple of people, and then more people wanted it, but it was like the things that people will go through. And I think it was even, not to say that it was because of surgery, but I think it was another story in the news where a lady went over to Mexico, and it might have been from this area. She went over to Mexico with some of her friends to get cosmetic surgery and ended up getting killed. Kidnapped, and did she get kidnapped and killed or something? But it wasn't, I mean, it was because she was going to get this surgery that her life, something ended up still happening, and it was traumatic, even if it wasn't the surgery that was going to do it. So it's like, we put ourselves at risk. Kanye's mom, somebody said that. I saw somebody say that under a post about Kanye's mom, and it was like, that's not what happened to her. But what happened to Kanye's mom?
She was in Hollywood and around the Kardashians, and she didn't feel that she was good enough, her body. So she went and had all these surgeries done and ended up dying days after. So that was like, whoa. And Kanye felt responsible. He said, because I introduced her to Hollywood. If I would never introduce her to Hollywood, she would have needed to get that done. And even like Cardi B said she went to one of them doctors with the ass shots, and I think she getting hers taken out or something like that. She said because it's not worth it, and she's telling girls don't do it. I did it and I'm okay, but it doesn't mean that you'll do it and you're okay.
She got money. She has connections. Like, not everybody has what these celebrities have. So they want to get as close enough to it as possible. And they're like, oh, I can get a deal. Oh, I can go fly to this place. Oh, I can go do this. And I can get it on the low. And a lot of times they won't even tell people, because a part of them is ashamed or embarrassed. And then they want to just pop up looking different.
Yeah, like, oh, do you notice anything different about me? Oh,
like Nicki Minaj, all them pictures start resurfacing of what she looked like before. She was like, she ain't never had that ass before, but she talks about her ass shots. But it's like, and we saw a video, my husband and I saw a video of kmichelle. Not only does her face look totally different, but she was dancing or something and saw her thighs and her butt jiggling. He was like, I thought she got her implants taken out. I was like, maybe that's just her natural little southern curves. He was like, she, like, because she still looks hippie. Like, I don't remember exactly what she looked like before.
I think when they get it out, it's still there.
Like, she still got the silicone, so it starts seeping into her.
Yeah, I think sometimes they don't, because I always had curves, but they weren't always as pronounced as they are now. But gradually, as you saw me getting older, I remember one time I went through security, and this cop had a nerve to say, "Oh, is that real or fake?" And I'm like, "Nigga, yes." I'm like, "It's real. If you see my mama, Second of all, how dare you ask? Is that real or fake?" And it's like, but now, I mean, I guess you have to ask. Or what about that one story? I forgot what it was on, and she fell and it busted open.
Oh my goodness.
It was a movie.
Had to have
it was
emergency
like
surgery or something.
And because she went to one of those places, like I was watching some of those stories, and like these women were pulling up to like hotels and like different things. I'm like, if I pull up to a hotel or a back alley and you telling me this is what we're gonna do surgery? No, ma'am, no ham, no spam. I just, whatever money you got for me, you just got for me. And hey, you got it. And I'm going to leave. I'm not going to allow that to happen. That's just like when the women had to get smortions back in the day, and they had to go to the back alley places because that's all they had. You're gonna have more of that once a lot of these doctors. And I want to know what Dr. Miami does. Because Dr. Miami does, I know he's board certified, but he does something different. That I don't think he's had any casualties or any malpractices. What is he doing different with his women? And then I know some doctors treat some of their patients different. If you look a certain way, they tend to care for you a little bit more than some of the other women. And I don't like that as well. That's true. Connections or looks. I mean, it's sad to say. You can, yeah. You're right. Like, oh, you can get the deal. Because what is it, like those Memorial Day weekend deals? You see some of those places put up.
Oh, you can get one.
Yeah, like
get a BOGO deal on some surgery.
They do it. They go like, you can get a BBL 360 and a breast lip, or we can do the fat transfer to your breast for 5,500. And then you're like, oh, 5,500. Okay, I just want to pay the mortgage for a month and a half, and we good. Let me go do it. And then now, you are now unalived, and your kids don't have nowhere to stay because you didn't pay the mortgage. So, is it worth it? I feel for those kids. I feel for DC Young Fly because he has to raise these kids. That little baby doesn't know his mother at all. No memories, no nothing. And that has to be the hardest thing because you have a newborn baby that needs that smell of that mother.
Yeah.
Calm that baby down. And it's going to be hard. I heard some other rumors that I'm not even going to, girl, talking about, oh, she was a sacrifice. I'm like, oh yeah, well, everything's not about the Illuminati.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, the rumor factory. Oh, she was a sacrifice. Watch DC Young Fly. All of a sudden, he's going to climb up even higher now, and that's how you're gonna know she was a sacrifice. And I'm like, if you had to sacrifice the mother of your child, you are not nobody good. Nothing good is gonna happen to you.
Crazy.
And I mean, it's crazy. I'm like, why would people even think about that? Like, you think about it's stuff that comes out of some people's mouths sometimes. It's like,
yeah,
why?
It's always some kind of people be bored. They be bored and just want somebody to listen to them, and they're willing to come up with anything. Oh, the stars was aligned on this day. It had to have been a new moon or a full moon, and then Mercury retrograde, and something else must have happened where it's dealing with climate change. Like they will throw all types of shit in there. And the fact that she had how many kids? 3 kids or something. The number 3 means this. So they will go all into it. But it's like sometimes people just need to have better discernment. Like I think now that we're going into it, when I was looking at stuff online, it was a post made about, I think it was Jackie O. And the post was made because I didn't really remember what she looked like, because I saw her on like a couple of episodes of Wild 'N Out, but then it seemed like a lot of the posts she looked different. So I was like, is this the same person? But it was somebody made a comment and was like, oh, she was a great person. I wish people would talk about me like the way they're talking about her. But why did you have to sacrifice, or why did you have to leave your kids behind to go da-da-da-da-da? The reason people, they got deep into it, and people were like, you could have left that last part out. You could have left that last part out. You could have just said your condolences and da-da-da-da-da. But it's like, if we don't bring light to some of the situations, that yes, if I'm not mistaken, this was the same person that somebody was like, they deleted the post about her having a mommy makeover. So it's like, I don't know if it's some lawsuit type stuff or people just don't want her name to be associated with this is why she left here instead of, I'm sorry, this is why she left here instead of all the things that she accomplished. So it's like, I don't know.
I think so, because so it's giving mommy makeover a bad name. So a lot of the surgeons have to explain it. So if you haven't done your research on mommy makeover, you just think of mommy makeover as okay, I'm going in for mommy makeover, and they're gonna no, it's certain things as a package. You're gonna do this many things, you can do this many things. It all depends on your body. But some doctors are not doing a workup. They're not doing a blood test. They're not doing a heart, checking your heart and your lungs and everything to make sure everything's functioning like it's supposed to be. And then saying if you have any, was it that something, what you had stuff before, cancer or heart disease, some doctors don't want to touch you. Or you have a irregular heartbeat. Well, I don't want to touch you because I don't want to do anything that's going to stop it or make it go too fast, anything like that. You have those good doctors. And I always know that if I would want to go get something done and I don't get it done, it just wasn't meant to be.
But some women don't tell the truth either. Because a lot of times, just the same as we may fabricate some stuff or make it seem more serious than what it is just to get someone to pay attention to us or listen to what we're talking about. Sometimes women will leave some stuff out. And I've known people like that. They were like, oh no, I don't have any family history of anything. I don't have, I'm good. I'm healthy. I work out. Like they will over exaggerate things to make it, oh, I was just a little stressed that day. That's why my pressure was a little high, or I might have had caffeine. Like when somebody wants something, they will do and say whatever they need to say to get it.
You're right. Some people will exaggerate so they can get the pills that they want. They look up the symptoms and they pick all the worst symptoms and I'm allergic to everything coming down the pipe. So you got to give me the crack because that's all I can take because I'm allergic to everything else. So yeah, I've known people to do that, and I've known people that yes, to fabricate and say, certain things you always get a second opinion. And if both doctors say the same thing, sometimes you try to find a more experienced doctor. Okay. What's good for the goose isn't good for the gander. Just because Susie up the street went to that doctor doesn't mean that you got to go to that doctor because that doctor was good. And then I know I was listening to that one doctor, I forgot her name. She was a Black surgeon. She was like, she prays and asks God to have the Holy Spirit talk to her and let her know she should do this patient. She said she's had patients come in. She's like, yeah, nah, I ain't doing you. And she said sometimes they accept it, sometimes they don't. But she said, she said, I don't want to have any cases of any Jackie O's on my heart. When something's not right and you say, look, I shouldn't be doing this, but you go ahead and do it anyway because you want to get paid. Yeah, sometimes people don't want to take that risk. And like you said, some of them doctors, they don't care. Yeah.
I mean, I have clients that want to book certain sessions with me or take certain classes. And I'm just like, what is your intention for doing this? Why do you want to do this? Or why do you feel you need 2 sessions in one day and this and this and this? I'm like, what is the reason? So I like to know the person's intention. And I will let them know, like, hey, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you. I'm not the type of person that's just going to take your money and tell you anything. But yeah, I don't think this is in alignment with your highest good. I don't think you're going to get what you truly desire from this, but it's a shame that it's not a lot of people out there like that. They're looking at meeting quotas. They're looking at getting their name out there. And I don't know. Yes. What do you think about like the fillers? Did I already ask that? Like the fillers and the lip injections and stuff like that. Do you think that's just as invasive?
Yes, because you're putting stuff in your mouth that's not so. My lips are bigger. My lips can handle certain things. If your lips are thinner, your skin might not be able to stretch. Now you're making it paper thin. Now you're making it easy to bruise, or it might burst open. One too many fillers. I mean, your cheeks, you're putting that all into your face, was going into that's where your brain is up there. Yeah, it has the skulls protecting it, but you never know. You might have a little crack in there that you didn't know that was in there, and that hasn't seeped up into your brain, or you hit the wrong nerve, anything will go to your spine, and everything's all connected up there. So I don't think you should tamper with your face. I always said that if I was going to get surgery, I would get like a breast implant, or was it like my flanks and was it tummy tuck, and get the flanks, smoothed out like that. But
the flanks, what's that?
Like the over here, the love handles.
On the side. Oh, okay.
So I would get all that done, but I'm not going to, mess with my face, because that's your face, that's your money card. I don't want to look like the Saw clown. A couple of them look like the Saw clown, look like they go to the doctor. Yeah, I want to look like this one. Make me look like the Saw clown. Yes, no. Or I did want to try Botox, or like, it was like a little bit of it like under the eyes or something like that. But then when you hear all those, whatchamacallit, like with the Botox for migraines, your face might get stuck like that. Or I'm like, oh, okay, so it's supposed to help migraines, but I don't want to make my face get stuck, one eyebrow up, one eyebrow down, or look like I have a stroke, because it's like,
like I don't know if Sprinkle did that, but if you look at some of her old videos, her mouth looks one way, but now she's like this.
Yeah,
that wasn't how her mouth looked before. No, where I'm like, something's different. It looks like she had a stroke. Like, that's to me. But I'm just like, yeah, something's off. But
it looks permanent too.
And it could have been a health issue. I don't know. I don't know if she's ever addressed it, but she deals with dark magic. So when you mess with the dark sometimes,
she got her kids messing with it too. Sometimes I don't think it's to each his own, but some things should not be taught to children. Children don't know what they're doing with it.
Yeah. I knew some people that used to mess with that stuff, and I think something scared the hell out of them, and they were just like, nope. But then I know I know enough about it to know that that's not the route I choose to go. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
You and I've heard stories, I've heard stuff, and it scared the bejesus out of me. And I'm like, you seen this in real life? And to know it's only,
I'm sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I said, it's just generations away, like close generations. That scares me.
But I want to ask you, since you were on the fence before purchasing your house on getting the surgery, now since you're hearing more about these types of situations happening, do you feel that you would still move forward with something like that if money or time wasn't an issue? If you checked on a board certified person, went to a good location where you did your research, or do you feel like, no, I'm good?
Honestly, I would rather get a revision on the sleeve and just do that, because when I got smaller, my stomach went flat. It didn't have like that much hanging skin. It was I wore a 2-piece. It wasn't that bad, I'd rather do that than, because it's like just my luck, something would happen to me. And I'm scared to death when I get any other type of surgery. And I just pray that I wake up. And I said, the last thing I want to do is to get something that wasn't needed and to die and then leave my kids behind. So in a perfect world, sure. In this world, no. Too many things are happening, and I would love to do it. I mean, I might be able to get it done and nothing happened. And they see, girl, you were just scared for nothing. But it's like, do I want to take that chance? I don't know. I mean, only doctor I think I really would trust is maybe Dr. Miami, that Black doctor I heard. Like, people that have been around for a while that have a good reputation. But Dr. Miami's booked years out.
Wow.
That's how good he is. But it's like, I don't know, would you?
No, I don't want to be on an episode of Botched. Like, I don't know. I feel like I've tried so many different things that are healthy, that are convenient, that it just don't seem like it's meant to be.
I
Because
know.
if I do something on one area or two areas, then I'm still going to talk about the flabby arms. I'm still going to talk about, sometimes I get it look like I have a double chin when I take a picture. It's still going to be something that
You
I
can't
find to complain about until I build the confidence and start to love me for me as I am. And like, but I don't think I will. I will find something else to do with that money.
Yeah, because I mean, that's how I looked at when it was time to buy the house. It was like, yeah, I could tell the lender no and go do what I want to do, but that's being selfish. I can't be selfish. I know Sprinkle say, no, you gotta be selfish, but you can't be selfish, especially if the man doesn't have the money to produce for it.
Right.
I can't tell him to draw money out of a hat. He can't do it. Everybody,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then, I guess he can't afford that house. But I'm like, some stuff Sprinkle says is really good and resonates, but some stuff you have to look at that it's a partnership with a marriage, unless you truly are marrying a man for money. And that's what the contract really was about, was money. Then that's different. But if you marry for love, then love will have you go up and down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You give more sometimes, or you give less at times. I can't sit there and I seen what putting all the pressure on a man does. I seen a man walk away, throw the deuces. I'm out. I'd rather pay you and be happy than have to, because I know once I make that one payment, that's over. There's no more money coming out of my pocket for you and your madness. Everybody doesn't have a man like Sprinkle that's going to stay around and deal with that stuff for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I got my new eyes. I got my LASIK surgery because I didn't want to wear contacts for the rest of my life. I hated the glass. So I was fine. LASIK took like 5 minutes. It like literally 5 minutes. I was awake the whole time. They had it playing on the screen. So I think my husband was with me. He could see it being done on the screen. I was talking. They were playing Beyonce. So it's like I wasn't under anesthesia or anything like that. So I'm like, yeah, I got my new eyes. I can fall asleep. I mean, that's something that is cosmetic, but to me, it was
medically necessary.
It was medically necessary because I could spend lots of money for the rest of my life on prescription glasses, contacts. I was having more issues because I would fall asleep with the contacts in my eyes and then it would stick to my eyeballs. I would have some infection, like just different stuff. So even with my hernia repair surgery or hysterectomy, some of those things were medically needed. And at times I'm like, would my stomach be like this if I didn't have that? I mean, if I didn't have that surgery, or would this be like this if I didn't have, would my hormones be different if I didn't have that surgery? So I don't want that regret later and then be questioning what if I shoulda, coulda, woulda, or what if I just loved me a little bit more? So I don't want to seem like a hypocrite and say no to cosmetic surgery, but it's some situations are a little different.
I think so.
To me.
Yes, that is medically necessary because mine would be medically necessary because I wouldn't be blind as a bat. So yes, I agree with that. I would do that. I would do LASIK over getting my body done. So if I had the money, if LASIK and the eyes were both the same, LASIK to me makes more sense than getting a tummy tuck or lipo 360. I will say that.
Yeah.
So
all right. Well, that is it for us today. You guys let us know how you feel about the topic. If you've known anyone that has experienced any difficulties, or even people that have had good outcomes from having cosmetic surgeries, if that's something you would consider for yourself, what due diligence would you do to make sure that you came out on the better end of the spectrum? Yeah, let us know what you think. You have any closing words, my dear?
Love yourself for who you are, smile, and embrace everything, because that what makes you, you know. Hey, those dimples, those potato salad arms, those big old ham hock knees, hey, that makes you, you.
What the hell are potato salad arms?
Girl, it look like I could whip up some good potato salad with them arms, that arm, them big old arms, whip up good potato salad.
whipping the yank.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's okay. I mean, you just might be good at arm wrestling or something,
You might have to neck and
box,
neck.
box a little bit, do something else with it, but I don't know. But until next time, we will speak with you and see you later.
Bye.
Bye.